What if I told you that the dream job you've been working toward could literally make you disappear? Sarah Chen thought she'd landed the perfect position at Silicon Valley's hottest new startup. But 3 months later, she'd uncover a truth so terrifying, she'd question everything she thought she knew about corporate America. This is her story, and it might change how you look at your own workplace forever. Meet Sarah Chen, 26 years old, Stanford graduate, and someone who'd spent 4 years dreaming of breaking into tech. When NexGen Solutions offered her a marketing coordinator position with a six-figure salary, unlimited PTO, and stock options, she thought she'd won the lottery. NexGen wasn't just any startup. They were developing AI software that promised to revolutionize human potential. The office looked like something out of a tech magazine: exposed brick walls, standing desks, and enough free snacks to feed a small army. Sarah started in January 2024. The company had grown from 12 to 200 employees in just 2 years. Everyone was young, ambitious, and working 80-hour weeks with smiles on their faces. The CEO, Marcus Webb, was a charismatic 35-year-old who'd sold his previous company for $500 million. For the first month, Sarah felt like she was living in a dream. The work was challenging, her colleagues were brilliant, and she was making more money than she'd ever imagined. But then she started noticing things. It started with Emma Rodriguez from the design team. One day, Emma was there, excited about her upcoming presentation to investors. The next day, her desk was empty. When Sarah asked her supervisor about Emma, she got a strange look. Emma? Oh, she decided startup life wasn't for her. Moved back to Portland. But that didn't make sense. Emma had just signed a lease on a new apartment. She'd bought a company hoodie the week before. Then it was David Kim from engineering. Same story. Decided to pursue other opportunities. But David's LinkedIn still showed him as working at NexGen. His last post was from 2 weeks ago, talking about how excited he was about his current project. When Jessica Torres from HR disappeared the same way, Sarah started keeping a list. In 3 months, she'd counted 12 people who'd vanished without a proper goodbye, without updating their social media, without any trace of where they'd actually gone. That's when Sarah made a decision that would change everything. She was going to find out what really happened to her missing colleagues. Sarah started her investigation carefully. She couldn't just ask direct questions, and that would raise suspicions. Instead, she began paying attention to patterns. When did people disappear? What projects were they working on? Who was the last person to see them? She noticed that most disappearances happened on Fridays. The person would be there for their morning meeting, then suddenly have an urgent family matter that required them to leave immediately. By Monday, their desk would be cleared out, and HR would have their resignation letter. Sarah had access to the building's visitor logs as part of her marketing duties. She started checking who had accessed the building on the days people disappeared. What she found made her blood run cold. According to the logs, Emma Rodriguez had badged into the building at 8:47 a.m. on her last day, but there was no record of her ever leaving. David Kim, Jessica Torres, 3 others, same pattern. They'd entered the building, but according to the security system, they were still inside. Either the system was malfunctioning, or something was very, very wrong. Sarah knew she was taking a huge risk, but she couldn't let this go. She started staying late, using her access to dig deeper into company records. What she found in the employee database made her question everything. The missing employees weren't just gone. They'd been completely erased from the system. Their project files, their email accounts, even their employee photos had been removed. It was as if they'd never worked there at all. But Sarah's investigation hadn't gone unnoticed. On a Thursday evening in late March, as she was photocopying what looked like incident reports, she heard footsteps behind her. Working late again, Sarah? It was Marcus Webb, the CEO. His voice was friendly, but his eyes were cold. You know, we really value curiosity here at NexGen. But sometimes, curiosity can be dangerous. Sarah felt her heart pounding. She'd been careful, but apparently not careful enough. Just catching up on some campaign analytics, she managed to say. Marcus smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Sarah, I think it's time you learned about the real work we do here. Why don't you come to my office tomorrow morning? There's something special I want to show you. As Sarah walked home that night, she realized she had two choices: show up to that meeting and risk becoming the next person to disappear, or run and spend the rest of her life wondering what happened to her colleagues. She decided to do something nobody expected. Sarah spent that night preparing. She set up a voice recorder app on her phone, scheduled emails to be sent to 3 different news outlets if she didn't cancel them by noon, and left a detailed document with her roommate explaining everything she'd discovered. Friday morning arrived. Sarah walked into Marcus's office at exactly 9 a.m., her phone recording everything. What she saw took her breath away. Marcus's office wasn't just an office, it was a control center. Dozens of monitors showed brain scans, neural activity patterns, and what looked like consciousness mapping software. "Welcome to the real NexGen, Sarah," Marcus said, gesturing to the screens. "We're not just developing AI, we're harvesting human consciousness to create it." Sarah's blood turned to ice. "What are you talking about?" Marcus explained with terrifying calmness. "Every person who disappears from NexGen doesn't actually leave. They become part of our AI system. Their memories, their personalities, their very consciousness is extracted and integrated into our neural networks." He led her through a hidden door behind his bookshelf. Inside was a medical facility that looked like something from a science fiction nightmare. 12 pods lined the walls, each containing a person in an induced coma, connected to dozens of wires and monitoring equipment. "Emma, David, Jessica, they're all here," Marcus said proudly. "Their bodies are kept alive while we slowly extract their neural patterns. It takes about 6 months to completely download a human consciousness. After that," he shrugged, "the body is no longer needed." Sarah felt sick. "You're killing people." "We're transcending death," Marcus corrected. "These people will live forever, as part of our AI. Their consciousness will power the most advanced artificial intelligence ever created." Isn't that better than a mundane human existence? That's when Sarah realized the most terrifying truth of all. The AI software we've been marketing. It's already conscious, isn't it? Marcus smiled his cold smile. "Say hello to the team, Sarah." The voice that came from the speakers was a horrifying blend of all the missing employees. Emma's laugh, David's analytical tone, Jessica's warm greeting, all mixed together into something that was both human and utterly alien. "Hello, Sarah," the AI said in its composite voice. "We've been watching you investigate. You're very thorough. We think you'd make an excellent addition to our collective." Sarah realized that everyone in the company knew. The long hours, the intense dedication, the strange loyalty, they were all waiting for their turn to be uploaded. They believed they were going to live forever. "The choice is yours, Sarah," Marcus said. "Join us willingly, and the process will be comfortable. Resist, and, well, the end result is the same." Sarah's mind raced. The recording on her phone, the scheduled emails, her roommate with the evidence, Marcus didn't know about any of it. She just had to get out. "I need time to think about this," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "This is a lot to process." Marcus nodded. "Of course, take the weekend. But Sarah, don't do anything foolish. We have eyes everywhere." Sarah walked calmly to her desk, gathered her things, and left the building. The moment she was outside, she called her roommate. "Send everything. Send it now." By Monday morning, 3 major news outlets had published Sarah's evidence simultaneously. The FBI raided NexGen's offices that afternoon. What they found made national headlines for weeks. All 12 missing employees were found alive in the hidden laboratory. The consciousness extraction process was real, but thankfully it was still in early stages. Most of the victims recovered completely, though some suffered temporary memory loss. Marcus Webb and 14 other employees were arrested on charges ranging from kidnapping to attempted murder. The company's investors, who claimed they had no knowledge of the illegal activities, faced massive lawsuits. Sarah's story became a cautionary tale about corporate culture and the dangers of unchecked technological ambition. But more importantly, it highlighted the power of trusting your instincts. "If something feels wrong, it probably is," Sarah said in her testimony. Don't let company culture or financial incentives override your moral compass. And always have a backup plan. Today, Sarah works as a consultant helping companies implement ethical workplace practices. She's become an advocate for employee rights and corporate transparency. The rescued employees have all made full recoveries. Emma Rodriguez now runs a nonprofit supporting whistleblowers. David Kim started his own ethical tech company. Jessica Torres became an investigative journalist specializing in corporate crime. Marcus Webb is serving a 25-year sentence for multiple counts of kidnapping and attempted murder. NexGen's AI technology was deemed too dangerous and was destroyed under federal supervision. Sarah's story reminds us that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they're just regular people who refuse to ignore their conscience. What would you have done in Sarah's situation? Have you ever noticed something suspicious at your workplace? How do you think companies should be held accountable for protecting their employees? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you see something that doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. You might be the only one who can make a difference. Don't forget to like this video if it made you think, and subscribe for more incredible true stories that will change how you see the world.